Hi, it's Katie from Nolcha's Fashion Entrepreneur Report. We're bringing you daily videos to make business easy for the fashion-minded. Today, I'm with Danielle Gano, owner of Elle Communications, and she'll be teaching us how to speak with media at a trade show. Thanks for joining us, Danielle.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So how can you attract media at a trade show to your brand?
Well, there's a couple of different types of trade shows. So you would approach media differently from a consumer show than, say, you would for a wholesale show like Magic or something like that. With either of them, you definitely want to make a media list ahead of time and figure out the exact media outlets that are most relevant for your collection. Obviously, not everyone's line is going to be relevant to every publication, and you're going to waste your time and annoy reporters if you go after the wrong publication. So definitely start by doing your research. With a lot of the big trade shows like Magic, the media actually register ahead of time, and you have an opportunity to connect with them and try to actually set appointments with them. Some media won't take appointments, but they'll let you know that they'll agree to stop by your booth, so you can at least have an idea of who you're going to be meeting with. With consumer shows like Tradeshow, which is one of our clients, it's a little bit less organized, I would say, in terms of having a full list ahead of time at your disposal. So you just have to be ready for those people to stop by your booth all day long. And more often than not, the reporters that come by your booth are not going to disclose that they're actually with a media outlet. So it also takes a little bit of you being prepared and talking to everyone that comes by your booth and trying to learn about everyone, because it might just look like an average plain Jane and turn out to be an editor of a great publication. So it does require you to do a little bit more digging and just being prepared, have a press kit there or give some materials that might be relevant to a media outlet to perhaps everyone that stops by your booth so that you're, ensuring that that information gets out there.
Okay, and if a designer did find out that they were dealing with somebody in the media, what's the best way to begin a conversation? Is this a sales pitch after, or how does this work?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No. I mean, that's the most important thing to remember, is that members of the media are real people, and you should talk to them just like you would have a conversation with anyone else you know. Actually, that's an exercise that we use in our firm a lot of times, is that I'll ask employees when they're going to write a media pitch or they're getting ready to call the media, like, imagine that that person is a reporter, but they're someone that you know really, really well. And so you have an understanding of what they're looking for their publication, and you should really try to know your media outlets that well before you contact them, because there's so much that goes on within a media outlet, and there are so many different types of media outlets out there that, editors, reporters, journalists in general are getting bombarded with story after story after story all day long. And what's really going to make you stand out is the ability to come to them with something that is well researched and is relevant to their type of media outlet. In general, letting media know who you are and that you have a line is great. I guess going back to the origination of your question, how should you approach them? They are a person, so introducing yourself like you would any other person that you would meet in your business or personal life. And then if you want to actually pitch a specific story to them, just make sure that you are pitching it to an outlet that's relevant to your brand in a timeline that's relevant for them. Don't pitch them something about swimsuits as you're going into fall and winter, and just doing a little bit of homework and making sure that you understand their publication before you start pitching them story ideas.
Okay, and at a trade show, should a designer be relying solely on PR from the trade show, or should they be trying to work with outside outlets to get their own marketing?
It's definitely a combination of the two. We represent Tradeshow, so certainly we're working with all different kinds of media outlets whenever we travel to a city, whether it's lifestyle outlets, even hard news outlets like the morning news. We also work with a lot of fashion media outlets. That being said, we're really running these massive, they're not blanket campaigns, we're being targeted with them, but we're reaching out to a whole host of media, and we're not necessarily catering it to specific designers. We do at times. That's a lot of ways that we get coverage on blogs, is by giving bloggers just a few designers that we know are really, really in their frame of reference. But what I'm trying to say is that we're not by any means targeting specific campaigns catered to a specific designer. So to really maximize your time at the trade show, I would absolutely recommend that beforehand, you make a list of the media outlets in that city or that you know are going to be in town that you particularly think are great for your brand, and get on the phone, call the assignment desk. You can always ask for the editorial desk or an editorial assistant to help you out with who the correct contact is for you. And when you get in touch with that person, you can explain, hey, I'm a fashion designer, I'm going to be in town for this event, and I'd like to see if possibly I can schedule a reporter to come meet with me or speak with me, or sometimes you might know a specific blogger or a specific reporter, and you can contact them directly and just invite them to come and see you at the event. It's a great chance for them to see you in action. Consumers are there picking up and holding your line and touching it and trying it on, and those are great, fantastic shots for the media to capture of your line. And just invite them to come out and meet you, and try to have a couple specific story ideas in line that you might want to pitch to them.
Okay, well, Danielle, I appreciate you joining us and explaining how to speak with media at a trade show. And thanks, everyone, from Katie at Nolcha's Fashion Entrepreneur Report.
Thanks, Katie.